Welcome all. In this lecture, we will discuss about the network synthesis, specifically the network synthesis or the synthesis of driving point impedance functions. Driving point emittance functions. Emittance functions. If you remember the word emittance, emittance is a combined word for admittance and impedance. That is, we will be provided with the driving point impedance and admittance functions, and we are required to make circuit out of it. Make circuit out of it. Okay. Now, make circuit out of it means synthesize the network. We are required to synthesize the network when the given network function is given. Say network function f of s is given and we are required to synthesize a network. Synthesize a network. But before proceeding further, before discussing about the synthesis of the network, we will discuss this in a reverse flow. That is, we will be discussing some networks and how their network functions looked. As the synthesis requires the information about the network functions, and network functions are defined only in the S domain. So whatever the circuits I'll be drawing, I'll be mentioning all the parameters into the S domain only. Let us consider our first network. Suppose I have a resistive network which is a single resistance R here, and say its voltage is mentioned to me. Say the applied voltage is Vs and it is causing a current of Is. As it is a single port network, so the network function will only be Vs divided by Is, and this is nothing but the Zs. Now the Vs divided by Is will be equal to the impedance of the network. As it is a purely resistive network, so Zs would be equal to R only. I have mentioned resistance to be R because in S domain resistance is mentioned as resistance only. So the Zs, that is the driving point admittance of this network, would be R only. And if I find or write the driving point admittance function for the given network, then it would be the reciprocal of this one, and it will be 1 by R. Let us consider a inductive network having inductance L, and in S domain this L is represented as Ls, where Ls is the impedance offered by this inductor. And now again let us imagine Vs is the voltage applied here and Is is the current flowing into this circuit. So Zs, that is the driving point impedance for this network, will be Vs divided by Is, and this would be the impedance offered by this network. As it has only one network, so the impedance offered will be Ls. And similarly, if I write its admittance, that is the driving point admittance, then it would be 1 by Ls, that is the reciprocal of this. Let us discuss a capacitive network where we have a capacitance, and its capacitance in S domain is represented as 1 by Cs, where 1 by Cs is the impedance offered by this capacitance in S domain. And again, say Vs is the voltage applied here and Is is the current, then the driving point impedance Zs would be equal to Vs divided by Is, and this would be equal to nothing but the impedance offered by this circuit. Now the impedance offered by this single network, single element network, would be 1 by Cs. So it will be 1 by Cs. And similarly, its driving point admittance would be Ys equal to Cs. So we have discussed or we have found the network functions for a resistive network, for a single resistance network, for a single inductive network, for a single capacitive networks, and they come out to be R, Ls and 1 by Cs, or 1 by R, 1 by Ls and Cs. Likewise, let us find out the impedance, driving point impedance of a R L network. That is, when R and L are connected in series, and over here the applied voltage is Vs. It is causing a current of Is to flow into it. In the S domain, R is represented as R and L is represented as Ls. So the driving point impedance Zs would be equal to Vs divided by Is, and this would be equal to the total impedance offered by the circuit. Here the impedance offered by the resistance is R and impedance offered by the inductor is Ls. So the total impedance would be the summation of these two, that is R plus Ls. This is the driving point admittance of RL circuit. Similarly, I can write its driving point admittance Ys. This will be equal to 1 divided by R plus Ls, or I can write this in the form Ls plus R. Okay, this is the driving point admittance and impedance and admittance for this RL circuit. Similarly, let us find out the driving point admittance and impedance for RC circuit. If it is R and if it is C, then its impedance would be 1 by Cs. Then Zs would be equal to the impedance offered by this resistance plus the impedance offered by this capacitance. So it will be R plus 1 by Cs. Solving it, I will get RCs plus 1 divided by Cs. And similarly, its driving point admittance Ys would be equal to the reverse of this, that is Cs divided by RCs plus 1. And similarly, the other possible combination series combination of these elements would be the series combination of L and C. Now the impedance offered by this L would be Ls and impedance offered by this capacitance would be 1 by Cs. So Zs would be equal to Ls plus 1 by Cs. Solving it, I will get LCs square plus 1 divided by Cs, and in the same way its driving point admittance would be given by Cs divided by LCs square plus 1. With this discussion, we are trying to find various different forms of network function for different possible networks, so that if we ever encounter a network function, we can directly say that the particular network function can only be realized in this form. With this discussion, we have seen that if we ever encounter an inductor, then its possible network function would look something like this. That is, if we ever encounter a network function like this, we would get to know that it can only be realized using a inductor. Similarly, if we ever encounter driving point admittance of something like this, then it would clearly indicate us that it can only be realized using a capacitor, single capacitor. Let us take an example. Say we have Zs which is equal to 2. We are given Zs to be equal to 2 only. Now from this discussion, after comparing this Zs with all the given Zs, we come to know that Zs without any term of S is possible only for a single resistance. That is, by seeing this, we can say that it can be realized with a resistance only having the value of 2 ohm. Similarly, say if we are provided Zs to be equal to say S plus 2 divided by 3S like this, and we are required to synthesize this, then what we will do, we will compare this network function with the given, as it is a Zs, so we will compare it with these, and we come out with the comparison, we come out with the conclusion that it must be a series combination of RC network. Now resolving it into this form will give us the values of R and C. Let us write this network function in this form. Over here we have the coefficient of S to be RC and plus 1 over here. So we will try to write it as 1 by 2 S plus 1 divided by, taking 1 by 2 out, I'll get 6S here. Now on comparing, I will get RC to be equal to 1 by 2 and C to be equal to 6. This gives me that the network function, while realizing, it will consist of a capacitor with a value of 6 farad and a resistance where resistance is equal to 1 by 2 C, where C 6 farad, so the resistance will be of 1 by 12 ohm. This way we can synthesize the networks only if we know the different forms of driving point impedance functions. Let us continue our discussion with some more calculation of network functions for possible networks. Say we have a network where we have a series combination of R, L and C, and let us see, or let us find out how its network function would look like. Here we have this R, we have this Ls, and we have this 1 by Cs. So its network function Zs would be the series combination of all these R plus Ls plus 1 by Cs. Solving this, I will get RCS plus LCS square plus 1 divided by Cs. Let me rewrite it. I can write it LCS square plus RCS plus 1 divided by Cs. So its network function would look something like this, and its driving point admittance Ys will be equal to Cs divided by LCS square plus RCS plus 1. Let us try to draw some conclusions from all these network functions. Let us start with the resistive network. Here the network function of a resistance is equal to R only. It does not have any S term. So if we ever encounter a driving point impedance or admittance which does not have any S term in it, then we will directly say that it can be realized into a resistive network, that is a single resistance R. Similarly, if we ever encounter a driving point admittance which has a single S term only in the numerator and does not have anything in the denominator, then we will say that it can be realized into a inductive circuit. Similarly, if we encounter the driving point admittance and which is of this form, then we would say that this can be realized into a simple inductive network. Let us come to this. Similarly, if we ever encounter a driving point admittance which is R plus Ls, then we would say that it can be realized into a series combination of R and L. We should look closely here. We do not have S when we have resistance only. We have S in the numerator when we have inductor, and we have S in the denominator when we have a capacitor. Similarly here we do not have S in the resistive part, and we have S only in the inductive part. So this gives a series combination of R and L. Okay. Also the power of S is equal to the number of energy storing elements present into the circuit. Say here the highest degree of S is 1. This shows that it can only have either an inductor or a capacitor. Let us see this driving point admittance function. Over here the maximum power of S is 1. This shows that it will be having only one energy storing element, and as it has S in the numerator as well as in denominator, we will conclude that it is a series combination of R and C. Similarly, Let us see this. This driving point admittance function has a power of 2, maximum power of 2, either maybe in denominator or numerator. As we have 2 power here in the denominator, we have 2 power here in the numerator. This shows that it will be a circuit which will be having 2 energy storing elements. So that means it will be a series combination of inductor and capacitor. The power 2 comes only if we have two different types of energy storing elements. Say if we have two inductors connected in series, then say it is L1S and say it is L2S, then their impedance ZS would be equal to L1S plus L2S, and I can write it to be equal to L1 plus L2S. See here, the driving point impedance has a power of 1 here. That means it has only one kind of energy storing element, and that is an inductor. In the last slide, we derived the network function for series networks. Let us now consider the elements which are connected in parallel. Say we have a resistance connected in parallel to a inductor, and how would its network function would look? Say it is R, and if it is an inductor, say it is Ls, then its network function Zs would look like R parallel Ls, and on solving I will get R into Ls divided by R plus Ls, and its driving point admittance would be given as R plus Ls divided by RLS. Similarly, if a resistance is connected in parallel to a capacitor whose impedance is mentioned as 1 by Cs and resistance is mentioned as R, then its impedance would be R parallel 1 by Cs. On solving, I will get R into 1 by Cs whole divided by R plus 1 by Cs. Further solving, I will get R divided by RCS plus 1. Similarly, its driving point admittance would be equal to RCS plus 1 divided by R. And let us consider an inductor connected in parallel to a capacitor, 1 by Cs here and Ls here. Then its driving point admittance would be equal to Ls parallel 1 by Cs, and this will be equal to Ls into 1 by Cs whole divided by Ls plus 1 by Cs. On solving, I will get Ls divided by LCS square plus 1. Similarly, its driving point admittance would be LCS square plus 1 divided by Ls. Analyzing this, we again can conclude that as its power is, or the highest degree is 2, so it will be a network function of two separate energy storing elements, that is L and C. Let us see the parallel combination of R, L and C, where this L is Ls, C is 1 by Cs and R is R here. Let us find out its driving point admittance Zs. It will be R parallel Ls parallel 1 by Cs, and on solving this will come out to be, and its driving point admittance would look LCS square plus RLS plus 1 divided by RLCS square plus R. So this will be the network function for a parallel combination of R, L and C. Over here we can again see that the highest degree is 2, that means it will be comprising of two energy storing elements. But the form of this is very much different from this. So if we remember the form of the network function, we can find out whether it will be a parallel combination of R, L, C or the parallel combination of R and L and C. So that's it for this lecture. We will continue our discussion. We'll discuss more about network functions and how to find out whether it will be a series combination of RL or a parallel combination of RL or LC and different others. Thank you for listening.